Welcome, students. This subject is for all of you. This is not new to you because every day we inquire, we learn, we investigate from different aspects of our lives, and we continue to immerse our learning. So, this subject inquiries, investigations, and immersions are suited for you. So come on, let's learn together. I am your teacher. My name is Ma'am Charlene Calba, or you can call me Teacher Cha in short. This day, we will investigate why you like that style, why you like that food, what's the importance of researching, what's the importance of having new buildings, new technology improvement. This is just a simple applications and a simple product of what is known research. But the question is what and how to write a good research. So this is our main topic for this day. How to create or write a good research. We all know that research is very important, not only in ourselves but in the community itself. So first, let's identify what's research. So research is composed of two syllables, a prefix re and a verb research. The prefix re means again, anew, over again. This usually used for these different kinds of words that start with re. Search means to examine closely and carefully, to test and try, or to prove. So the two words form a noun to describe a careful and systematic study in some field of knowledge undertaken to establish facts or principle. Research is an organized and systematic way of finding answers to questions. This means that when doing research, it doesn't make any different interventions or procedures. There is an order or a systematic way on how to create this research. So research is very important to gather new informations and how to improve products or how to improve quality of service and etc. That's why sometimes when you go to some known restaurants or commercial foods or fast foods, some crew will give you a survey questionnaire and will let you test their new product because they are doing what is known research. They are doing a survey if the customer will gonna buy this kind of product or gonna love this product, because if they can see or the results of their survey tells that the product is good for the customers, then they will produce a lot of it. But if not, they will stop producing it. Aside from businesses, research is very important also in our everyday lives because we encounter different difficulties. And through research, we can solve these difficulties. Especially today, do you think vaccine are just done in a one specific laboratory experiment? No, because it was done a million times to create a good vaccine that is good for humans. So that's research. It took a lot of time for the vaccine to create or to be created. So that's the reason why we are waiting for so long for these vaccines. And before they introduced the vaccines to the population, they already experimented it in the laboratory and the field with a specific controlled group only. And if they can see that is already usable by human, they will now put this on the market. That's the reason why there are a lot of new vaccine today. Take note, you cannot use your cell phone or you cannot have your television You cannot have your wonderful sofa and so on without the research. It was done through research. Aside from that, the emotional impact of the pandemic is also one of the problem of the society. And so research can solve that through different systematic ways. So now, do not be anxious or scared of making research because this will lead you to create a good mind and will let you understand how the real world works. Because reality is not idealistically. So today, let's set our minds and understand the different types of research from the viewpoint of application. We have two types of research under application. We have pure research and we have applied research. Mostly, these two researching process or research types are usually used by medical doctors and creating new drugs. What I mean about drugs is not the drug that you are thinking about. The word drugs is not the word that you are used to do the meaning because the word drugs means medicine. But a Filipino usually use the wrong identification of the word drugs because drugs are basically the meaning of it is medicine. So that's the reason why we have drug store because that store producing or giving and providing medicines for all to buy. Aside from that, there are different aspects of pure and applied research on how and where it is usually used. And objectives type of researching are commonly there are four major classifications. We have exploratory research, descriptive research, correlation research, explanatory research. So basically, these types of researching is mostly and commonly mostly observed in making a environmental issues and etc. But the types of information that we usually know is these two main type of researching, which is qualitative research and quantitative research. Among these two researching process or research types, qualitative research under it we will explore more about qualitative research, but I know you have already an idea on how to create a qualitative research because it was already done in your practical research one. Quantitative research is mostly commonly known for it is using numbers, analyzing a large amount of respondents. Okay, so qualitative research and quantitative research are the two main types of research. Quantitative research could be application or objective types. So quantitative research are very important in gathering large amount of population. And so these two and different types of research are commonly observed every day, but we are just neglecting because we are too naive to know that this is research. So let's first identify what is quantitative researching or what is quantitative. Quantitative methods emphasize objective measurements and the statistical, mathematical, or numerical analysis of data collected through polls, questionnaires that have number or numerical value like yes or no, maybe, often, Likert scale type of researching questionnaires, survey questionnaires, that is an example of quantitative questionnaires. By manipulating pre-existing statistical data using computational techniques. So, in quantitative research, it does not only means that you're going to conduct the research without any proof, but technology today is using the different software to analyze the quantitative research. So, technology will now have a final results through numerical data on what is your research all about. But this is commonly used only for quantitative research, and it is not used in qualitative research. So, as a whole, quantitative research focuses on gathering numerical data and generating it across groups of people or to explain a particular phenomenon. So, from the word quanti means the quantity. So, that's the reason why quantitative research is more on numerical aspects. On the other hand, qualitative, this is a study that seeks to understand social life of a targeted population in their natural setting. Researcher can find problems that affects the subject individually and as a community. She can ask questions to find out why these problems occur and find solutions to the people that can listen the problem to them. So qualitative research is more on elaborating and transcribing the feelings and emotions of the observants, or commonly this is usually used for understanding the culture of a given tribe, the culture of a given area, and understand how the community works. Aside from that, qualitative research is also used to identify a certain problem in a given group or ask a certain reasons in a given group. Unlike quantitative research, qualitative research is more on words, not numerical. Because in this type of research, you are going to identify the common observation among the different participants or respondents of the study. And now we are already done on reviewing the different types of research. So for this time, we are now going to do our main objective, which is how to write a good research. So this is the APA cover page that you are going to use for your study. So what's the meaning of APA format for researching? We have different kinds of research formats. We have MLA, we have AMA, and so today we're going to use on the format of APA because APA is also used in different fields. APA means American Psychological Association. It has a standard types of writing a good research paper, and this is commonly used in different aspects of studies and in education also. So in your study, this is the cover page. You are going to use the A4 size of bond paper, and in the upper, bottom, left, and side, it has 1 inch of the margin. And at the top most of the paper, there is a logo. And your title should be in double spacing. It should be bold, written in bold letters, and caps lock all. So, before the next The next sentence, which is in partial fulfillment of the requirements for the subject inquiries, investigations, and immersion, there are four spaces. These four spaces means there are four main spaces, meaning you are going to have four enter in your computer. You enter four times, but make sure that when you are going to enter four times, the spacing is only one. Okay, and so then the next type of word will be then used. So this is how it looks like. So you have now an idea on what and how to write the cover page of your research paper. So this is our overall or general format in making the cover page of our research paper. But the first question is how to create and make a good introduction, because the chapter 1 of your research is focusing on the problem and the RRL of your study. So in introduction, there are different standards on making a good introduction. So we are going to discuss today, and I will give you an example of a good introduction so that you could have an idea on how to write your own introduction and in writing a good research paper. So the first paragraph of your introduction would be the background information. It includes the subject of the study, the impact of the subject of the study, and more information about the subject of the study. Most commonly, the background information is what we call the global idea of what is your problem all about. Global means you can find in a different countries that they are studying about this type of research also. So you will see if in what country does this country also experience this type of problem and so on. So that's the background information. That's the first paragraph, the global ideas. Then the second paragraph also explains the gap analysis. When we say gap, what are the things that on the previous research it was lacking, or the limitations of the published works of the previous research. The importance of filling the research gaps for the field of the study. Why this gap is very important and why you are doing it. So basically, these are commonly, we can see that and we can observe that we could relate that in our country. So that's national. We can talk about in this part the national or the gap between the international or global research that you have gathered, and why or what are the gaps that you can see in our country. So that's it. And the third paragraph is the research goal or hypothesis. Then you will going to write on this part the goal of the study, why the study is the next logical step to fill the gaps in previous works. Your research hypothesis in a manner of elaboration and a summary of research method. So in this part, you're going to write on this, or the paragraph in this part is you're going to write the research goal and hypothesis. And the last paragraph of the introduction is the results and the significance of the findings. After making this research, what is the significance of this research in your area or in your respective community, or what particular subject that it could help or the beneficiary of your research. So what's the importance of your research, the future impact of the study to your research, and so on. So basically, the results this part explains the local application, or in our own area, how could it be useful. So, I will give you an example of an introduction of the study. And this is my own study during my master's degree thesis writing. So, the first paragraph, as you can see, it's all about information of the global about the problem. And the second paragraph also supports or the gaps as what's the gap between the problem of the entire global application of this problem. So as you can see, it is very easy to write an introduction as long as you know how to write an introduction. And as you can see, this is just an example of how to create an introduction. So, this video will really help you on understanding how to write a good research. Now, as you can see, I didn't read my own research on the screen, but you can read it on your own. So, an introduction is the preview of your research. Make sure that your introduction is captivating for the readers so that they could have an idea on if they could read throughout your research, because the introduction will give them an idea of what is your research all about. So make sure that while doing your research, you are creating your own book. So be a good writer and a good story maker in a way of a systematic process, because this is a type of book. When we are going to have a research paper, it's already a book. So you are now making your own book. So each group, as I have told you during our Zoom meeting, next week by Saturday, you are just going to send to me your introduction, each of your group. But before that, let me know first what is the title of your research before I will let you do your introduction. So let me know first. I already messaged or I already posted on your page to mention me in your group chat on your final title of your research. So again, we are not doing this one as only individual but as a whole. So you're doing this research introduction as a whole. So each of the members of the group, I will let you grade your other members, because I will send you a rubrics and you are going to rate your own classmate within your group mates, and your average score of your group mates would be your final group score. So for this day, what is your task in our quiz is to write down a specific informations that you have gathered in this topic. So what is really the importance of introduction in the part of research? So that's the question that you are going to comment down below. Individually, I will read it. So you could see no copy pasting, meaning your answer should not be the same with the answer of your classmates. So you are going to comment down below so that I could see your answers. And if you are answering and you will tell me that you have the same source of information, I tell you, you don't have the same mind. So you will answer it in your own understanding. What's the importance of introduction in making a good research paper? And I have here an example also of this introduction in making introduction. An introduction does not need to have a lot of authors because introduction is your own way of telling the readers, what is your research all about. You can use a few authors, or you can quote a few sentence about the idea that you've gathered on this type of research, but it is not recommended that every part of the introduction or the background of the study is not recommended to have a lot of authors. If you're going to write according to it's not part of the introduction, because that according to is for the RRL, or the related literature of your study, and it is not used in introduction. Now comment below. My quiz for you today is to comment down below what is the importance of introduction in a research paper. So you are going to write down, type on your own screen, on your own cell phone, laptops, tablets. What's the importance of making introduction? That's the first question. What's the importance of making an introduction? The second question is how to write a good introduction based on your understanding. So that two questions would be your quiz for today. So you comment down below your answer. So I will wait until tomorrow 10 p.m. also, and after that 10 p.m. I will now cut down the comment box. You cannot comment on our comment box because I will now close the comment box. So you have a lot of time to gather all your thoughts of what's the importance, first question, what's the importance of introduction, and how to write a good introduction. I have here an examples of APA, examples of popular sources that you could transcribe from APA, from your given source to APA. As shown on the screen, this is how you're going to cite the sources. These sources of APA examples, it is written on the end of your research paper, but I have provided you on the first hand because whenever you're going to search an information from internet to books to magazines to newspaper to chapter or anthology, these are the examples on how to convert from this APA. I hope you have learned in our discussion this day. So don't forget your quiz and comment down below. And make sure to write your introduction as a group and send it to me. So I will end this discussion with a simple quote. What you know will eventually not the truth. So research is the best way to solve the real problem.